Hello, everyone. Jane here from Your Way Weight Loss. Hi, Leash.
Well, hello.
Okay, so we didn't have a lot of time to just say hi. I just like press start.
I know it's been, and we didn't talk a lot yesterday, so it's like feel
I
like a lot's
know.
happened. I don't know every thought in your brain.
I mean, I'm not. It's crazy when the schedule starts where we're. I don't want to say busier, but yes, like we're showing up more. Like in that sense, on my personal Instagram, there's nothing happening.
I
Know what
mean,
I mean? There's no
where were
time.
you? No time.
Where were you? Did you even go for a walk? Did you, like all of these things
The people need to know.
people need to know. You know what? As they're listening to this, I'm on my last few days without the scale. And last podcast we talked about our goals. So yeah, I'm interested right now when we're recording. We're like halfway in, but I'm curious how I'll feel the day that you guys listen to this.
I'm curious too.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Just being a mom, rocking the back to school
Back to school, yeah.
routine. I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like I have been doing it for 3 months now.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's not a lot extra. I mean, people are like, how's the back to school routine? I'm like, pretty great, actually, because we see for some, they just like go back to work and then the kids, but we work from home. And so it just allows us to be more us and work more. So for us, back to school means more time to do our work. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it's been beautiful.
It's actually been amazing. Can we just be
Beautiful.
honest with the humans? It's actually been pretty amazing.
Goodbye, little people. See you in
Yes.
6 hours.
Exactly. Goodbye, little humans. And it's not even see you in 6 hours. It's like zero guilt free. Like they're actually going to do their duty.
It's so true. Like when I go for a walk when they're at school, zero guilt, obviously. But when they're home, there's always that little bit of guilt.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Man, I was thinking this morning, I was talking to Melissa. She's like, we were talking. I'm like, she goes, sorry to bother you right now. And it's 7:32 a.m. and I'm doing laundry. And I'm like, just doing effing laundry like I will for the rest of my life. Like, and I feel sad every time I think about the fact that this is it for the rest of my life and there's really nothing I can do about it. This is what adults do.
It's true. Now we could put the kid, but Dia's probably almost ready to do her own laundry.
Probably. It's not even is she gonna put it away? Like, she will?
I don't
She
know.
helps me sometimes. I don't know. It's not even like it's just I wish this wasn't a thing.
Yeah. It's never ending. That's the
Yes,
thing.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
legit on laundry day, by the time laundry day's done, the basket's full.
Yeah, there's no vacation from laundry.
No. And
You
actually
get what
when
I
you're on
mean?
yes, and when you're on vacation, you actually come home with a lot of laundry.
So, like, when you have kids, you can drop them off at grandma's, you can have a babysitter, and you have a break. When you have a job, you can go on vacation, and you can just let your emails just, "Nope, there's nothing today," you know? Laundry, not a thing.
It's there. It's waiting for you.
It's waiting for you, and you'll have to do it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh my
Mhm.
god, so funny. So I was like, "It smelled in my car." And
Uh-oh.
Noah has, like, supersonic smell.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what's happening with him, but he's, like, legit let's say you just let a little fart out. It's been 2 seconds. It doesn't smell yet. It has not made it to other people's nose, okay? He's like, "Maman, ça pue." I'm like, "How does he know? How does he know already? How is it already at his little nose in the back?"
Wow.
Yeah, he's, like, next level. Anyways, I'm like, he said "maman ça pue" before. I'm like, fille ça pue." Anyways, turns out that the milk I put like a bowl of cereal for like his snack in the morning with milk, and the milk obviously went all over his like extra clothes for daycare. And I didn't know that the milk had done that yesterday. The daycare worker just thought I forgot to put milk. You get what I mean? She's like, "Oh, your mom
Ah,
forgot to put milk." So she didn't check for that. And then she didn't tell me anything. So I thought everything was good. But Noah said, "T'as pas mis de lait hier avec Marie?" And I was like, "Ben oui, j'ai mis du lait avec Marie." But he was telling the truth that there was no milk when he went there. Anyways, so I put my hand and it was all like obviously wet. And I'm like, "Bella, they didn't tell me that he had wet clothes." Anyways, the mystery was solved when she said, "Yesterday you forgot to put milk." And I said, "I did not forget to put milk. The milk was on the clothes. That's why it smells."
and
Anyways,
milk is no joke.
Nah,
Do
that was
n-
just yesterday, lo.
You do not mess with milk, especially in your car.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow. And that was just yesterday. It's not like a month ago and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it starts to smell, lo. It's just yesterday. So wow, huh?
Yeah.
Serious
Wow.
stuff.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah,
Good
that's what's
talk.
happening in my life.
Good talk.
Good talk, everyone. Okay, so today we're talking about hunger.
I need to
And-
tell you that I'm not over the fact that we already recorded this podcast and it didn't record. I'm not in the acceptance phase yet. I didn't have enough time to process this. You had more time than me.
I did. I did. So we recorded a whole podcast on this, you guys.
It was
and
so good
It was so good
too.
and it was recording and the platform we're using did not save it or something happened on there and they apologized. And I was like, yeah, that better not happen again. Like, I don't even know what I'm saying. What would I threaten them with? You know what I mean? Like
I know.
stopping my subscription. Like I need them. It's all good. It's all good. We all make mistakes.
And I'm also tuning into what I was listening to yesterday on my walk that was let that shit go, and it's like acceptance and like having your moment when shit happens that you can't control, having your moment but then moving on and not letting it ruin your day.
Yep.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And just for me, it's mostly the how ironic it is that the things that we like, let's say, worry about don't even end up happening. Like there's a lot of that is actually a part of like, and I'm like, so true. Like I worried that Dia was going to miss 4 days of school. So far I missed one out
Yeah.
of the 3 that I thought, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, I had all those thoughts of like, she's going to miss so much school and that didn't even happen. We worry adults about things that aren't even in the moment. Anyways, so we're recording it again, you guys. So welcome back. Okay. So a few things always pop up when it comes to hunger. We have a few people that are like, am I going to be hungry on your program? That's like, that can be a question that we get. But I want to chat and tell them, I don't know if I said this story already in another podcast, but that lady that saw me at the mall and she's like, you're that weight loss girl. And I'm like, I am. And she's like, I'm following you guys. I'm really thinking of joining. I'm like, well, come on down. We're waiting for you. And she said, my 2 friends are doing it and I'm just going to wait and see if they like it. And then I just like couldn't stop myself. And I'm like, if they like what? Like what, like as in like what is she thinking this diet is like? What do you like? The meals? As in, is there a meal? Do they think it's so fun to see people's perception?
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, if they like what? And she's like, I don't know, just like if they're hungry. And then it broke my heart because I'm like, like hunger is this thing that we're so afraid of. When we have excess fat or where we're overweight, we are just so afraid. When we're thinking about weight loss, we're so afraid of being hungry.
It's a thing. And it's holding, I really think it's holding people back from maybe starting this journey because they're like, I'm just not ready to suffer through the hunger.
Oh, absolutely, Alicia. Absolutely. And so have you ever been like that? Like I for sure was afraid of being hungry when I was overweight and thinking of weight loss because I had done so many things that left me hungry, emotionally hungry and physically hungry.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I was like ever afraid of hungry, but I would almost like, it was almost like I was eating more just in case I might be hungry later. So
Right.
it wasn't like I was afraid of it, but I was acting differently because of my fear, my concern about it.
Yeah.
And there's really 2 main messages that we want you guys to get out of this podcast. We're going to go into detail about both of them. Number 1, that when you are trying to lose weight, you do not need to be hungry all the time. Like we need to have a conversation. You're doing something wrong if that's you. But then number 2 point is that we need you guys to know that hunger is a part of being a human.
Yes, it's like, so yesterday I did a live en français and I was just comparing hunger to being tired. And it's quite funny, not really, but like when you think of being a mom, right? Are you like, I want to be a mom, but I'm so scared of being tired. Like, you know that you have access to sleep. You'll at one point you'll be able to sleep you have access to a bed. You have access to like a husband that can take over overnight if you like, you're calming yourself down. You will be more tired, but you also know that it's going to be fine and you'll sleep and that you'll take advantage of afternoon naps and like that you have access to sleep. And it's very interesting to me that we're so afraid of being hungry when 99.9% of the people that are trying to lose weight, like our members, have access to food. Like you have
Yes.
access to food. So why are you afraid of being hungry? And I think it's because you think that weight loss can happen without being hungry.
Hangry.
Hangry. Exactly. But also like Alicia said, it's part of being human. Like understand that like you should feel hunger. You should feel tired. When it's 10 p.m., you should feel tired. You should actually be tired.
Yeah. Like hunger is a part, guys, of the way our bodies work. Hunger is a mechanism within our body that has been created to tell us, okay, it is time to eat. If
It's a bodily function.
It is a bodily function. If you never feel hungry, then you are probably overeating on a very consistent basis. So, yes, I feel hungry sometimes, but it's pretty much almost time to eat when I'm hungry or time to go to bed.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And people who are not trying to lose weight still feel hunger. Okay. People who are in a calorie surplus can still feel hunger. So it's important that we just don't link, well, I must have been in a deficit because I was hungry all the time. It depends what you were eating as well. So hunger does not necessarily mean weight loss, and you do not necessarily need to be hungry in order to lose weight. Like, honestly.
Yeah, no. And for me, it's not even, you don't need to be like being hungry, whether you're overweight or not, whether you're old or young, or whether you've been obese or not. Hunger is a part of like signs of you living life. Like, you know what I mean? Like Jeff sometimes will be like, oh my God, I was so hungry. I'm so hungry. Can't wait for supper. Like on Saturdays at like, let's say 5:30, we're leaving around 6. He's like, oh, ça va être bon. Like, I'm really hungry. And I'm like, well, there you go. Like, he's hungry. He doesn't have a bad relationship with hunger. So let's talk about that. You know, you need to create a better relationship with the scale, with your body, with your weight, with food. You need to create a better relationship with hunger. It is simply a state that your body is in. It is not telling you anything. It is not telling you, oh, you're losing weight now. There's nothing. You get what I mean? Like people think that it's giving them a message of like, you're doing something bad because you're so hungry. Like, mon Dieu, it's just right now. You're hungry. Go grab a snack. Stop the drama and the confusion.
We really would love for people to be a little bit more in tune with their hunger, to create awareness around their hunger. And that's part of the 7-day lifestyle challenge that we have for our members. We prompt them to reflect on their hunger at all times during the day, because we want you to recognize, when are you more hungry in the day? That can help you plan a little bit your way, your meals. Were you ever eating when you weren't hungry? And I do want to share with you guys that I personally recognized one of my problems when I was heavier I was that person that like ate healthy, but I ate quadruple the portion of what I would eat now. So it wasn't the quality of my food. So sorry. It wasn't the quality of my food. It was how much I was eating. And I realized that I was basically never hungry. And I was recognizing hunger as less full in my stomach. It was just less full. I hadn't felt true hunger on a consistent basis for a long time. So that, that's maybe another part of the conversation, but it's important that we start to kind of really try and be in tune with our bodies and create awareness around hunger.
Yeah. And it's like when you're sleepy at around 10 p.m., when it's actually like, it should be time for you to go to bed. Are you like, why am I sleepy? You understand. You're like, yeah, it's normal. I'm tired right now because it's time for me to go to bed. But it's very interesting how every time that we're hungry, it's like, oh, so it means that something is not right, or something. Like if you were tired all day, every day, something's up. Okay. Something is up.
That's a really great point.
All day, every day, something is up.
So we want you guys to not fear hunger, not see hunger as evil, just literally see hunger as your body telling you that it's ready for food. We also want you to realize that you do not have to go through your life feeling hungry all the time. So exactly what Jose said. Okay, guys, if you're trying to lose weight and you're hungry all the time, let's figure this out. Let's figure it out. Let's attack it. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out.
And yeah, and it's like, It's like, no, for me, it's always been that way. Okay. Do you see your, like, I want to say attitude, your limiting beliefs? Like, how is that working for you? Are you achieving and being the person you want to be? And for me, Alicia shared that for her, she realized that she had never felt being hungry in a long time. For me, I realized that I have a really deep connection with being really full. Like, I love the feeling of being really full. And I love, and so whether it's low calorie foods or high calorie foods, I can consume high volume. And I realized, okay, Jose, all you have to do is find ways to be like, at the beginning, I found it hard, but but at the end of the day, I wanted to not. Okay, wait. It's like I knew I needed to, if I wanted to lose weight, I needed to cut back on calories, and I wanted to be smart about it. Like, and I feel like sometimes you can know the answer to what you're looking for, but how you do it, how you achieve it, that's the journey that you're really on. So for me, it was like, yes, I wanted weight loss, but let's back up the bus and figure out how I can do this without feeling deprived, without being hungry, without like, so that's where you need to put all your focus in, and not just the knowledge to lose weight is to be in a calorie deficit, but it's way more quote unquote complicated than that for you to keep the weight off. So you need to know yourself so much. I knew I liked volume. So that's when I got into salads, because I'm like, wow, I can really have high volume and stay within a number of calories that is way friendlier. I mean, I don't even know how many calories. That's where people are like, but how many? I don't know. But I just know that after eating a sandwich that's close to 400, 500, I wanted another sandwich. That
Yeah.
means I'm not satisfied.
Yeah. And you know what? Everyone's different, because there's people who are so happy with one sandwich and they're just happy that they get to eat a sandwich on a diet. You know what I mean? They're like, oh my God, I'm eating a sandwich. They feel like they're doing something bad. But it's just like, you can make that work.
And also I have this person in mind that she doesn't like volume. You know what I mean? And she still struggles with her weight and has a significant amount of weight to lose. So see how, like, I really love volume, but I figured it out. You know, when Alicia said, let's figure this out. Well, I figured out a way to have volume my way and be happy, So it's not like, oh, if you're like this, then it's going to be just so hard and you'll never lose weight. No, like when people are like, oh, it's because you're fussy. Nope. It's because you haven't figured out your preferences with weight loss.
Guys, anything that you are trying to achieve is worth working for. And it's possible. And you need to just say, okay, I don't want to be this hungry. This is not how I want to live my life. Let's figure it out. I actually have a list. Would you like me to get to my list?
Go to your list.
Okay. Number 1 is liquid calories. If you're trying to create a calorie deficit and you are drinking 500 or how many ever calories in fancy coffees, pop, kombucha, beer, wine, your coffee creamer, not saying any of those things are bad. We drink all of those, some of those things. Okay. Just saying awareness. They're not going to keep you full.
Yeah, I love when you said earlier, let's create a awareness around your hunger. And when you're saying, I'm hungry all day, it means you're wasting. You're not noticing that you are wasting calories on things that aren't triggering you fullness, or like fullness emotionally and physically. So example, you can't pay your bills at the end of the month and you're like, I don't know. I feel like I'm always struggling. I can never buy anything. There needs to be a conversation about like, oh, I'm not noticing that I am spending $6 a day on my Starbucks coffee. So there's money and calories in there. But you get what I mean? Like little things that you're like, oh, wow, just didn't trigger as expensive as I thought. I didn't know that it was that expensive. It's not worth it.
And I would just encourage you guys to think about any liquid calories that you consume, create some awareness around calorie awareness around those items and say, is that worth it to me? If I replace that with food, would I feel more full? Am I willing to do that? Only you can answer that.
Yeah, exactly. And the only way, you guys, that you can really know yourself deep enough to know what you're willing to do is self-awareness. Like knowing who you are. Who
And
you
like
are.
trying things. Try it, you guys. Try it. Try it. Just because you do something for a couple days doesn't mean you have to do it for the rest of your life. Try it. How
I
does it
know.
feel? Experiment, adjust, tweak.
Why do people struggle with that?
I
Because
don't
the,
know.
the girl wanted to wait till her friends told her. Like, why didn't she do that herself? And
I
so
don't know.
I think that it's you spoke about this a few podcasts ago about the insurance. And it's like, I'm not going to spend my time doing something that might not work. And I'm like, that is not how a human evolves and gets results. Like,
Uh,
it's just
no.
not.
And also, it could not work for her friend and work for her, or vice versa.
Yes,
So,
and oh my god, don't even get me started. Like the fact that it seems to be like, if you like it, I'll like it. If you don't like it, I won't like it. Just that it's another podcast on its own. It's that mentality, that diet mentality, because usually the diet gives the same thing to everyone. And it's
here's
like,
yeah. And here's the thing, guys. You choose something in your life that you want to change, you need to just attack it. So if you wake up and you're like, "Hey, I want to lose weight, but I don't want to feel hungry all the time." Okay, attack. Like you're going to have to test things, try things, figure things out. Okay, so what are you eating? Let's talk about that. What are you eating? Because I could eat 1,500 calories of goldfish and probably not feel I would be hungry, or candy or something, right? But if I had 1,500 calories of salad and chicken and chocolate, I would feel fuller and satisfied. So it's not just about the number of calories, it's about what you're eating, the volume that you get out of eating that, and also the satisfaction level.
and I mean, again, it's not their fault. They have been told that their satisfaction was not important
I
when they were
know.
trying to lose weight. Their preferences was not important. And it was like told this story that there needs to be this like magical combination of the protein and the this and the that, and that should keep you full. That's BS. I'm sorry. Just because you're giving me chicken doesn't mean that you're physically and emotionally full, because it's like considered high, like this keeps you full. Like tons of people are feeling like they're lost and they're broken. Sorry. Tons of people feel like they're broken because chicken doesn't keep them full, and it should. That's what the internet says, I swear to you, people are like, I'm broken because I don't like salads. I'm like, I'm broken because I don't like vegetables, or I don't really I'm broken because I really like carbs.
I
Like
know.
tons of people think this, though.
I know. So, if you guys are feeling hungry, really look at what you're eating and ask yourself, like, am I satisfied after this meal? Like the 200, 300, 400 calories sometimes that I, give to chocolate every single day probably doesn't help to keep me full, my stomach full, but it keeps me happy. So that's a piece of it as well.
And that has not been validated or pushed
No,
or valued enough
no,
in the diet industry.
no.
It has nothing to do with what you like or what you want or what will make you dramaless. It's that let's be robots. Let's eat what I told you to eat because it's going to give you weight loss, and that's what you said you were going to do. So let's take discipline. You know what I mean? Let's use our discipline and let's not, think about vacations or chocolate or whatever.
And the next one is, when are you eating? So the world needs to hear this message. Please stop eating when you're not hungry. If you struggle with hunger, but then you're eating when you're not hungry, you need to be saving that opportunity for when you're actually hungry. I think this strategy and tool is probably one of the most significant ones for me that works for me with not having hunger. Is I don't eat breakfast because I'm not hungry.
Yeah. No, and yes. You're just throwing away, you're just wasting, like you're not hungry. So like obviously your body is not telling you it's time to eat. It's like, would I go for a nap right now? I just slept. Am I gonna go for a nap? I'm zero tired. If someone were like, go sleep, and you're like, can't sleep, I'm not tired. you know? Well, your body's telling you, don't go nap. You're not tired. Well, if you're not hungry, your body's telling you, don't eat.
I see this with Alfie. He is really not interested in breakfast in the morning. And I almost caught myself like there was conflict. I was like forcing him. He needs this good healthy meal. And then I was like, do you know what? Like he does eat, but he just doesn't eat as much as the other kids in the morning. And he like doesn't want the bread. I'm like, why am I forcing him to do this right now? Like he has a snack at school like 9:30 that's super healthy, nutrient dense. Like and he obviously is at a healthy body weight. Like there's extra stuff on there, even if he needs that. Like why am I forcing him? And maybe that's why we as a society have grown up to force ourselves to eat at specific times because those are the rules. But we don't like rules here at Your Weight Loss.
Yeah, no, we don't. We really don't. But what we do like is values. It's like we don't like rules, but we do push you to know what you value and then just be yourself. And it feels so good. It just feels so good.
So good.
Uh,
Another one, guys,
less
for me.
conflict as well. Less conflict with yourself, less conflict with others, because of there's a lot that like society has put on us as moms as we should. And
Yes.
it creates conflicts, and you don't even know why you're doing it. Why are you forcing your kid to eat all of their meals before they can have dessert? Why are you like when really we're just pushing them to overeat? Like, I just feel like, but then if you're like, no, I value that they eat my meal and all of it, okay, you go for it, girl, because it's worth the conversation, But if you're like, ugh, hate mealtime because I'm always doing this and I don't even care, just say it. You don't care. Don't care they finish their meal or not. Like, and what is dessert? A freaking yogurt? Like, is that even a dessert? Like, it's part of the meal. Milk
I
products.
know. Okay, so another thing, guys, that really helped me personally with my hunger is to invest in calories. So it's kind of like when you get a surgery done and they give you medicine and they say, stay on top of your pain. So this was more for me when I very first started, when I shared with you that I kind of felt like I didn't want to feel hungry. Now I'm like more mature with my connection with hunger, but I recognize that my hunger time was like right before supper, and I would overeat very frequently at supper time. I would overeat while I was preparing supper, during supper, after supper. It was just that whole thing. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. So instead of fighting it, I had a snack in the car on the way home. I invested a couple hundred calories in a nice snack. And then I started to be able to make better choices that align more with who I wanted to be at dinner time because I was not hangry.
Yeah.
So don't let yourself get hangry. Don't let yourself get hangry.
I have a great example. Yesterday, I went for a walk, 10K, got back, and it's 4 p.m. Not quite time to like sit down and have my supper because I wanted to do that with the kids whenever we're eating supper. And I'm like, and I'm hungry right now. And I knew if I waited an extra hour, my plate for supper would be twice as big because I'm so hungry, So I invested in 135 calories of the Todd's protein crisp.
Oh, yes.
So good. So yummy. Such volume.
Yeah, you get some decent volume.
Yeah, it's a big bag.
Mm-hmm.
A lot in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I invested in that. And then I actually had like a small portion at 5 p.m. because I'm not hungry. So I'm like, I invested in the fact that I'm hungry. I'm not scared of being hungry. I know I have access to food. And I make choices. And like, guys, like there's something to be said about investing in your hunger.
Investing in your hunger and also ditching the rules. There's sometimes, guys, at 4 p.m. I have that same moment. Yes, I eat my supper.
Yeah.
I eat my supper at 4 p.m. Sometimes I eat my salad at 10:52. Like the badass that I am, I'm eating salad at 10 a.m.
And yes, sometimes I have lunch, si tu veux. Like I don't even call them lunch. Meal one at 10:30, and it's a salad. Yep. I ditch the rules. And sometimes after, right, like in the afternoon, it's 2 ice cream sandwiches. Imagine that. The diet would be like 2 ice cream sandwiches for an afternoon snack.
Oh, mancha.
Then you get, wouldn't that be fun? Why not?
Oh,
that's my diet. You know what I mean? That's what I do.
You're such a badass. Such a badass.
Did you like my TikTok with the eyes?
It was good. It was good.
People liked it.
Okay, I need to talk about another thing too.
Okay, go.
Okay, so guys, this is always said with love when we tell you these things. If you do not want to be hungry from Monday to Thursday, stop eating like an asshole Friday, Saturday, and
Right.
Sunday. If you are creating a surplus of like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of calories on the weekend, you basically will need to be hungry during the week in order to lose weight. That is math. That's just the way that it's going to work out. So
you're not recognizing that you put yourself on your own diet of being hungry.
absolutely.
You're the one that you're like, well, it's the only way I create a calorie deficit. Yeah, because you're eating like an asshole on the weekend. You could change
created that cycle. You created that habit. So let's work on that. And I'm going to tell you guys, I mean, and that's not an easy thing to do either. I need to,
Oh my God, yes.
Like weekends is something that you might have to work on for years before you literally get to somewhere where you feel, okay, this is who I want to be on the weekend. We're both there now and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it allows us, like last night I had a bowl of ice cream like at 9 p.m. because I'm like, I know like I had such a great weekend and I moved my body and today it was like, so I just like know my lifestyle and I'm not scared of, and if this is me putting myself in a surplus, I want to be someone that eats ice cream tonight. Like it's just that much.
And it gives you the flexibility if someone's like, hey, do you want to go for lunch on a Wednesday? Whereas when you eat like an asshole on the weekend, you're like, it's like this rat race to catch up and lose the weight you gained all weekend. And you're like, absolutely not. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And we don't want you guys to live that way. We want you to live in a way that you can show up. Like, do you want to be able to say yes to your friends for spontaneity? Is that who you want to be? If it is, let's work on those weekends.
And you know what? I was that person. I lived that life for many years where I was chasing I was successful, kept the weight off. But didn't create the person I wanted to be. I created the results I wanted and I kept them and I knuckled through and I had the discipline because I really wanted this life, this feeling good in my skin, but I wasn't who I wanted to be. So I did it that way. And now I'm so happy I can share with others, like, let's create that from the get-go because it's way better this way. I have a better relationship with all of the things, my body, the scale, the weekends. And I'm showing up more as who I want to be and not, I'm showing up more as what I want to weigh.
And you basically weigh the same thing.
Yeah.
But now you're happier.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, I have one more, guys. So you're not going to like this one. Water. Often when you are hungry, you are actually thirsty. Have you ever come back from your walk and you're all of a sudden craving fruit?
Yeah.
It's because your body is like, fruit has a high concentration of water. That's what I want right now. Your body is asking you for water.
Yeah.
So if you're someone that goes through your day hungry often, are you drinking water? I can recognize when I have not drank enough water because I feel more hungry. So it's simple. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah. And I mean, it's obviously one of the like a hunger apaisant. I don't know how to say that en anglais. Like it's like a thing though.
It is. And actually, so is sparkling water. Like the bubbles in, and I don't want to say this. I don't want people to be like, oh, she's giving out tricks to like not eat and starve. That is not at all what I'm saying. But if you're maybe like want to not eat anything and you want to it's a half hour till supper, have a sparkling water. Like the bubbles will help fill up your stomach. Like it is a strategy. I used to maybe have it after my meal while I was like waiting for my body to adjust to how much food I had in it. I like use that. Obviously use it smart. Like we're not only drinking soda water all day.
Oh my God. I mean, why do we even have to say these?
But we do have to say that.
I know. And it's people like always assume positive intentions. Everyone always try to assume positive intentions. But yeah, no, for sure. And I see Jeff doing that. I see Jeff who does not have, this weird relationship with hunger and weight loss and all of that noise that we have created for ourselves, being a part of the weight loss industry. And he will grab a bubbly to make it to supper.
Yep.
He will, because he's like, he's reasonable or rational. He's like, I'm eating in 30 minutes. I'm not going to eat before I eat. Like, and sometimes, knows this.
Sometimes you don't want to eat before you eat. Like you really want to genuinely be really hungry. Like when I'm going out for supper, when I'm going to my mom's for a meal, when I'm going out, like I want to be genuinely hungry. So it's not that I'm like, oh, can't eat, so I'm having a bubbly. It's like, I actually don't want to eat right now. So I'm going to have a bubbly and I'm going to feel great.
I love that. Oh, I mean, at the end of the day, we're creating awareness for the people. That is what that's our content. That's our message. Like be more aware and figure out what you want. Like you're an adult. You decide what you want to do with our information. And I do think that there is a conversation that needs to be had about hunger, feeling too full,
Yes.
and recognizing the difference between saying the words I am hungry versus I am not full.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because and I'm sure tons of moms out there will be like, "Oh my god," when your kid says they're hungry and you're
Yeah.
like, "There's no way you're hungry. Now you might not be full." Or can we just say, "Hey, can I have a yogurt?" It's not because you're hungry or not, you know what I mean? And then you can have like, "Are you hungry?" It really depends what kind of conversation you want with your own child, though. But I do think that like I for sure am like, can we please stop saying that you're hungry when you just ate a piece of lasagna? You can't be hungry. Hungry is what you felt before the piece of lasagna. Now you feel something else, you know?
And maybe for them it's just that they're not satisfied. Do you know what I mean? And
Right.
that's a different conversation. But yeah, we would love for you guys to create awareness around your own hunger. What are your more hungry times of day? Are you eating ever when you're not hungry? Are you eating to the point of being over full? Just all of those things. And then if you want to attack this, attack. Take our
Yeah.
list and what are you willing to work on? And are you willing to give it the time though?
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah, because this is all experimenting because some days you will be hungrier than other days.
Oh my gosh. Can we just say that?
Yeah, like that's why I don't like well, how many calories? I don't know. Some days maybe I do eat 1,000 calories, and the other day I eat 3,500 because I'm more hungry, or that's how what life happened. Like that's why I'm like I'm just living my life. Arrête de me tanner avec les noms. I don't want. I'm too busy thinking about what I'm gonna do with my day, without thinking about how many calories I'm putting in my body. I'm making sure I'm not hungry. I'm making sure I'm not feeling deprived. I'm making sure that I feel happy and satisfied. Done. C'est tout.
Yeah, you will feel more hungry on certain days, guys, and that is so perfectly normal. We don't want you to be afraid to eat more on those days. Listen to your body.
Yeah.
When I'm super active, sometimes I'm really hungry. If it's the day after I've indulged, I'm not as hungry, and I just listen to my body and eat accordingly.
Okay, you gotta go.
I gotta go.
Okay, everyone, we appreciate you. We're getting ranked 100.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know what we are, but anyways, we got an email from Apple Podcasts, you guys.
And it basically said, "You're a big deal."
Yeah. That's what we chose. That's our perception of their email.
Absolutely.
I told Jeff, obviously he was not. He's like, out of how much? That's what he answered.
Hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. So, according to Apple Podcasts, we're a big deal. We're just gonna say that.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, congratulations, you're being ranked top something, something, something." Well, thank you, Mr. Apple Podcast. So, I mean, that wouldn't happen without you pressing play and downloading our episodes. So we appreciate you. And actually, this is one of our favorite platforms to talk to you guys. So thank you for being a part of it.
Okay.
Follow us everywhere, you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.